the old jazz hands, I think it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist. Today, as we are going live, talking about are those around you holding you back? And it's actually a really common question. I didn't know. It was I knew, but I didn't really know. I didn't really stop to think about it. But it's actually a really big thing. And even this morning, I was on this training, and they were talking about, well, you can't make a decision on your money unless you talk to your partner, and you can't make a decision on this unless you talk to other people and then their parents. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting that it's so important to look at, are those around you holding you back, and what's really going on behind the scenes. So thanks for joining me. Let me just do a few logistics. I'll be about 15-20 minutes, maybe at the most, as I crack on. I would love to know if you're watching this live or if you're here on a replay, and where you are in the world would be fabulous. So let me kick into are those around you holding you back, because it is an ouch. I will say it is an ouch. And I've discovered there's 4 types. And that's heck yes, everyone's holding me back, or yes, my partner is, or my parents are, or my colleagues, or my boss, or the neighbor, any of that stuff. Yes. Then there's the ones that go, no way, no one is. I make all my decisions for myself. No one has a say in anything I do. They can't hold me back. Then my favorite ones are, I know the answer and I just don't want to say it. I know they are, I just don't want to say it. And these are all okay. Then the 4th answer is, who cares? Which is a little bit like, no way. Either option actually has a kick. Any one of those options has a kick. So I'm going to give you some tips. So grab your note-taking device. I'm a pencil writer. Grab your note-taking device, because I'm going to give you these tips that are actually going to help you unpack the bigger picture that you're perceiving that they're holding you back. Because even if you're thinking they're not holding you back, I'd like you to still do this and look at them and go, So the number one tip I'm going to say is why. And when you get into the why question, the why is like a hamster wheel. Why me? Why is it they don't hold my sister back, but they always hold me back? Why does my partner do this to so-and-so but not me? Why is it always happening to me? Why does my boss choose that person over me? Why does my children go to their dads and not me? Why? Anything in the why is like a hamster wheel going around and round and round. You know the old wheel... I didn't know. Wheel thing. Can't even, mind blank. One of those. Roller coaster. No, not a roller coaster. Well, actually, life's a bit like that. But when you get to the why question, you literally are just going round and round and round. And there's a solution, and you think you've got it, and then down you go again. And then you're going back up, and the only way to get off that hamster wheel is literally to jump off a Ferris wheel. That's what it's called. Jump off the Ferris wheel if you're a hamster, and you end up on your back with your legs in the air. Now, that's not a very pleasant place to be, because when you're on your back and you're immobilized and your legs are in the air, I can hear my mum going, and it's not ladylike. Yes, it's not ladylike, but it's also not comfortable. It's actually not comfortable. And going down the why, you will never, ever get a solid answer that you're going to feel okay with. Because today you might get an answer, and then tomorrow you're going to get a different answer, and then a week later you're going to get a different answer. So when you get onto that why, just stop. The question when you get into the why is, how is this of service to me? So you're changing that round to go, not why is this happening to me? How is this of service to me? Quick, did you get that down? How is this of service to me? And it just changes your mindset, flips your energy about the why. The other word I'm going to talk about is actually called entitlement. Entitlement. And when entitlement comes into play in any relationship dynamic, whether it's an intimate one or anything, it can cause chaos. And you can go, I gave them everything and now they do this. And entitlement comes in a great one when people separate. That's that whole, when they separate, whether they're an intimate connection or they separate from, they resign from their jobs or anything, then I gave them everything and now they choose someone else, or I should have known they did this last time and I'll never trust again. You know these stories. They're literally just repetitive, and they just go round and round and round and round and round like the hamster wheel again. So the key here is actually to stop running that story. They don't owe you anything. You don't owe them anything. They don't owe you anything. You don't own them anything. So drop that entitlement that you have. Drop that entitlement that you have. My next one, when you're looking at are people holding you back, is remember people are human. Now, there's a bit of jokes around that not everyone's human and the rest of it, but we are. We have human emotions. We're here human, having a human experience in this human world, so people are human. So I truly don't believe that people wake up and go, right, I'm going to make Deborah's day miserable. I'm going to make it really bad. I'm going to be an a-hole to her. I don't believe people generally wake up to that. And if they do, then it's pretty dispersed pretty quickly because something will humble them. I don't believe people go out purposely, just go, I'm going to cut that person in half. I'm going to stop them from working. I don't generally think a lot of people think like that. We think they think like that, and then we're feeding their story. So remember that people are human, just like yourself. So they deal with their stuff. But the key is for you to deal with your stuff. If they're doing something that's challenging you, and it's challenging you but not the other person, then it's your stuff, not the other person's. If a colleague says, oh, my boss gave me this and I'm very excited about it, and you didn't get that offer, you're emotionally attached to that, that's your stuff. That's not that person's stuff. Definitely celebrate with them, but that's not their stuff. That's your stuff between you and your boss. So remember that you are not the same person you were even before you jumped on this call. Even before yesterday, you're not the same person. Yesterday you have a different level of knowledge, different level of awareness of something going on. You're not the same person you were a year ago. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. You're definitely not the same. You are the same person, but your energy has changed. Let's just get that right before someone goes, I'm the same person. Yes, you are, but you're not the same person who gives out the same advice, does the same things as you were a month ago, a year ago. I'm not the same person I was at school. If you ask my friends now in my current day what I'm like, they'll probably tell you different to what I was at school. And in my first job, how I was, and drinking how I was, and socializing how I was, and interviews. Each time you went for a job interview, I changed my tactic. So there's different things going on there. So just remember, you are not the same person, and neither are they. I think I've got that one clear. Tony Robbins, I met Tony Robbins back in 2019, and that was an experience and a half. And he said to me about they're not a worthy opponent. And I really like that. Now, there's probably different ways to reframe it, but you're going to look at, are they a worthy opponent? Are they actually worthy of your time and energy and investment? Or is it easier to walk away? Not my monkey, not my circus. I think that's what it is. So you know that one. So when I think about this, are they somebody you actually would like to be with? Are they somebody you would have on your tribe? Are they somebody who compliments you? Are they somebody who challenges you enough that you don't get burnt out? Because when you're looking at the tribe and the people around you and the community, it's important to look at that you don't just want to have a whole lot of supporters. You're amazing, you're wonderful, you're this. Because the more supporters you have, the more challenges you're going to get from outside authorities. So we keep it balanced. We keep that balance of the people who challenge us and the people who support us. Now, I'm a supporter, definitely. That's my business. However, I'm also a challenger. But I'm not going to challenge you to burn out. I'm not going to challenge you to burn out. I'm going to challenge you to your peak, and then I'm going to take you beyond that. Because that's what I do. I would love to challenge you enough to actually step up and do something, whatever you're looking at doing, but not actually to burn out, that it gets too hard, you're in overwhelm, and there's actually no way you can see any clarity in where you're going. So just ensure that you have the right people around you who support you, and also those who challenge you, but not to the burnout level. Then I'd like you to pull up the mirror, and look at what role you are playing in this. What are you contributing here? What are you giving? What energies are you putting out? If you pick up the phone to talk to someone and they're like, and you're like, you're going to have the same energy. But if you pick up the phone and you're vibrant and inspired, it's going to lift their energy instantly. So be aware of what you're putting out. Oh, I don't really want to tell you about this, but I have to tell you. And the whole tone and the shoulders come down and you just feel like they're shuffling along, and it's frustrating to get anything out of them. So be aware of what energy you are doing. If that is you, pull yourself back. If you're in a bad mood, don't get on a call with somebody to sell a product. If you're in a bad mood, don't get on don't go out of the house and even go to the supermarket, because the moment you get into the car, there's going to be energy that you're going to put out. The moment you get into the car, then you get out the gate, and then you go down the road, there's going to be, the radio's not going to be right, the seat's not going to be right, the traffic's not going to be right. By the time you've got to that supermarket, before there's no parks there. Oh, why is it happening to me? Why? You know that thing. So be aware of your energy, because what happens is when you get into that role, it just escalates more and more until you ground yourself. So don't deny that energy. Don't deny it. Just admit it. Just go, you know what? Today's a real ick day. I'm going to do something else. I'm not going to go to the supermarket and pass all my ickiness on to everybody else. You know those people, but it's also you. We all have it in us. There's times that I've gone somewhere and I know when I'm frustrated or I'm running late, and then the seatbelt's not getting on. I'm like, come on, and I'm trying to get out the drive without the seatbelt on, and it's not letting me, and the beep's going, and I'm like, and I'm going to get late, and all that frustration, it just escalates. So all you've got to do is look at your own energy and go, this is me. Hand on heart, straight away, this is me. I'm in a foul mood. I'm in a grumpy mood. I'm in whatever. So just see it, like see what that is, and then admit it. It's as easy as that. And the moment you can admit it, there's a little shift in level of your consciousness that your energy actually changes. You're no longer that person. I call it the human touch. And the human touch is when you're connecting with somebody at a human level, human to human. And that is when you can see them, you can hear them, and you can acknowledge them. When you see, hear, and acknowledge somebody, they feel valued. And this is not false. This is not a false fraud. I'm just going to like you because I want something out of you crap. This is actually see them, hear them, and acknowledge them. You don't have to agree with what they're saying, but just see, hear, and acknowledge. So you know when somebody sees you and hears you and acknowledges you, your world changes. When your world changes, their world changes. So imagine if you can do that human touch to somebody else, if you can see them, hear them, and acknowledge them. So these people who you perceive are actually holding you back. When you can see them, hear them, and acknowledge them, there's a whole different level of communication that opens up. And it's not from this. It's not from this ego-driven entitlement state. The human touch. The next one I learned from Dr. John Demartini is fire them up before firing them out. And this is when you've got people, and you're at work and you're like, oh, I've got an employee who's not even producing, and this is how frustrating I am, and I just don't really know what to do, how I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Or you have a partner who's just not pulling their weight in your mind. So let's fire them up before you fire them out, which means let's get them inspired before you walk away and push them away. Because if you've invested time and energy into somebody, they're a worthy opponent right then. If you've had that time and energy with them, they're a worthy opponent. So when I talk about firing them up before firing them out, what inspires them? We want to look at what inspires them, what lights them up. I talk about my glitter. What gives them glitter? Where do they sprinkle their glitter? What do they talk? What's their energy towards? What inspires them? And then you're going to look at what inspires you. What inspires you? Once you've known, this is seen, heard, and acknowledged again, once you can see them, hear them, acknowledge them, what inspires them, and then what inspires you, then you're going to link them together. And the linking together part is, how does their, so say my partner loves football, as I roll my eyes, loves football. So football inspires them. What inspires me is business building and transforming lives. So I go, how does their football inspire my business building? How does their football inspire my transforming lives? And I'm going to list things down how their football actually inspires my purpose or what's important to me. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. If you're struggling with this, drop it in the chat, let me know, and I'll give you a few little tips. But when you link them together, you can actually see, wow, they're really helping me. And then flip it the other way around. What inspires you and what inspires them? So how does my business building help my partner with their football? How does my transforming lives in business help them with their football, coaching, knowledge, playing, etc.? It's not as hard as and I generally say that this is not as hard as what you think. Now you're probably like, it is hard. So yep, okay. If you want to say that, that's okay. But please drop it in the chat and I will jump in there and I'll help you, because I want to shift this thing. Because even any of these tips I give you, there's going to be a transformation in them. The next one is trust. Trust. I'm never going to trust again. This is not going to work for me. It never has. Trust. Trust in you that you're going to make the right decisions with what the tools you have right here, right now. Trust in yourself that they're going to make the right decisions that work for them and others. And trust in the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is it's going to work out in the end anyway. And we often don't like to believe that it's going to work out. You know, they say one door closes, another one opens, and I'm always like, come on, can we actually open that door or have a little glass thing that we can peek through, whatever it is. So just trust that things are going to work out, because you've been through challenges before. I guarantee you've been through challenges before. And guess what? You've survived. How do I know you survived? Because you're here watching this. So trust. That's trust in the bigger picture. Trust in yourself, trust in others, but trust. And you don't have to bring those old, icky trust stories through for your next one. Scratching my nose. The next tip is love them. Love them. You know how we talked about people change? Love them. Love everything about them. Love all of them. Love their quirks, love their pros, love their cons. Love them. Love all of them. And when you know it's ready, you'll know it's ready. You just keep loving them for who they are, because they're in a transition just like you. Every day we're transitioning. Every day we're transitioning, we're leveling up. Breathe. Breathe. I don't know if I've breathed this morning. Breathe. Hand on heart. Hand on heart. Just breathe. When it comes to that trust, that's a great one. Breathe. Okay, I've got this. Hand on heart. Breathe. Just grounds you. Even if you have to have your hand on heart for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is. My favorite. Now I've got my last two are G ones, and they're my favorite. So I'll give you a guess what you think it is. Anyone want to have a guess? It's actually glitter. Glitter yourself. Glitter yourself. If you're frustrated with your attachment to them, you're not in your zone of genius. This is telling you it's all you. It's not them. It's actually you. Because when you're in your zone of genius and you're inspired and alive, this stuff that is down here does not bother you. It doesn't challenge you. You can just see where you're going and what you're doing. And there's a different level of certainty about yourself. So glitter yourself. Keep doing what lights you up. Inspire yourself. Whatever that is, keep yourself full of glitter. And these challenges that come down here, just drop away. Now, guess what the other one is? G. Gratitude. Gratitude. Be grateful for the experience you've had with them. Be grateful for the experience you are going to have with them in whatever role they're going to play. Be grateful for the past, present, and future. But also be grateful for yourself that you've got to this point, that you're actually opening your eyes and you're looking at things. Be grateful for the journey you're on, because this is a lifelong journey. Until you're done, you're done. So it's wise to be grateful for everything you do. And if you want to know when you're going to leave them or kick them to the curb or anything, you'll know. When you know, you know. When you know, you know. But if you do all these tips and you get a little bit frustrated, or you're like, I can't do this, or this is where I'm at, please reach out, because I am here for you. This doesn't have to be a challenge that's weighing you down for far too long. This doesn't have to be that challenge. So that's me, Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist. Are those around you holding you back? Wow. Well, only you can make that decision. So if you liked this, I would love you to share this. Share this video, share this with people you care about, and actually go through the tips bit by bit and work on them. That will be incredibly valuable for you and for others around you. So that's me. Waiting on my balloons to happen. My balloons are not happening today. They happen every other time. Maybe not. Oh well, here I'm just going to stand here and do this stuff. Thank you very much for joining me. Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist here. Are those around you holding you back? I love you. Thank you for joining me, and I trust you appreciate the tips I've given today. Thank you. Bye.